All right. Welcome to the Founder Exhale Show, where we are shattering the silence around founder mental health, one conversation at a time. I'm James Oliver Jr., co-founder of the world's cutest twins, husband to an amazing wife, founder of the Kabila Founder Mental Health Fund, which provides free mental therapy and wellness resources for founders, and co-author of the book Burnout, Not Out, shattering the silence around mental health and tech startups. I am super thrilled to be here. And I'm so glad you're here with us today on the Founder Exhale podcast. On this show, we have real conversations with exited founders about what success actually costs and what it takes to protect your mental health along the way. I also talk with values-aligned investors and mental health leaders who are changing how the startup world treats well-being. Oh, and you got to stick around to the end for the dad joke, right? Because that's what we do here. So I want to introduce you to our guests. Nick Merich. Nick is the co-founder of Songlink, which he built and sold to Linktree. He's now an investor and operator who works closely with early stage founders, and he brings to that work something most people in his position rarely talk about publicly: what the exit actually cost him and what it took to find himself on the other side of it. So I want to say, my dude, welcome, Nick. Welcome, man. How's it going?
What's up? I didn't know I was getting an audience today. I appreciate it. Feels good for a Tuesday afternoon here in Pittsburgh.
I got to clap you in, right? Come on. Got to clap you in, bro. So I'm excited that you're here, Nick. You wrote a compelling chapter in my book about your founder journey, and I'm thankful for you and your candor around this issue.
Yeah, no problem. I have a sports, very, I would say, methodical, thoughtful founder, building businesses the last 10 plus years, and I've always thought there would be a great opportunity to speak to my younger self at some point. I'm a big brother as well, so I appreciate the platform and appreciate the way you package everything up for founders too.
No doubt. I appreciate you, man. All right, we got a lot to get to, so let's just jump right into it. That's okay?
Yeah.
All right. So you wrote in your chapter in the book that if someone scrolled through your old feeds, they'd think you had cracked some secret code. Behind that, you were terrified to stop moving because you feared what would catch you if you did. What were you running from?
I feel like sometimes, and I speak a lot of that, personally, but also what you see from founders, like having the perfect title on LinkedIn, to like how you write the perfect post, to how you post this thing on Instagram. All of it felt like in the moment, an act, even though it wasn't. I was being myself, but I think I was just putting out a version of myself that I thought would best represent me, not best help me if I was seeing that for the first time. And a lot of building business, being a founder, you feel, I say this all the time, like you're going down a dark tunnel and you're just trying to find that light. And so those moments of dopamine rush of getting 100 likes to 1,000 likes on a post that you knew would work, but maybe is not the best representation of you at that current moment, feels.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It's not the best representation of you.
Let's say like you travel somewhere, Italy for the first time, and it's like, we take a picture with your family, like we have it all figured out, but maybe it's not like that at home. Like maybe, you as an entrepreneur is going through 100-hour work weeks and like just trying to make it through the week and keep this passion and staying on task. And, there's a lot that goes into it. So not showing that, but showing, this comes with being a founder, So it
felt performative. Is that what you're saying sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes it could be performative. And when I was in that kind of pocket mentally, I felt like I was being performative.
Cool. That makes sense to me. Okay. So you also wrote that edibles entered the picture not to get high, but to shut off the loop in your mind long enough to fall asleep. That's a really honest thing to admit. How long did it take you to recognize that that was numbing rather than actually addressing what was underneath it?
Um, that's a tough question. Um, yeah, in terms of understanding, I mean, it wasn't a problem. It was a problem to think that way, to act that way. But it wasn't like a crazy consistent
To
thing.
act which way?
Like to take an edible to decompress, to pull the plug for a little bit, to
Mhm,
not think about what is the next thing that's in my Notion task planner to do, but to get 10,000 feet and look at what you're doing and how you're doing
mhm,
what you're doing and not just being in that loop engineering robotic system that you kind of have to be as a founder if you want to scale things to really high levels. And I felt myself, yeah, very much like sports, finding an edge. Like, what can I do differently that's going to separate me? So there was a chapter of doing edibles before bed to allow me to like just get out of it, of
mhm.
the stress of building. Um, yeah. So I do want to be clear. Like, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't like there
Okay.
was things happening
You weren't addicted to it is what you're saying, you were just using it
financially.
as a
Yeah,
to escape.
it was me um in Palo Alto trying to figure it out. Um, being married, building something for 5 years, and like, are we going to be able to pull this exit off?
Mhm.
All those things, and yeah, some really good outcomes, like training more and going to see a therapist and taking those probable channels, but then also taking an edible. That
Yeah,
was part of it for me, more self-diagnosed, but
yeah.
yeah.
So you don't see that was a problem, that was just more of an escape thing for you to do?
Yeah, again, it was me trying to look at my business 10,000 feet. Like, I
Yeah.
always read about edibles and things the people have done with mushrooms of,
Mhm,
let me look at my business from a different perspective,
mhm.
that same question that I'm trying to answer. So, like, I very much went to that because am I working on my business or am I working in my business? And like,
Yeah,
how am I doing that as a founder? And am I working on the things that have a priority and are the next best thing for growth? And a lot of the time, you kind of just follow that engine that you're building. But then, yeah, I needed those moments of like feeling like you're being pulled out and looking down on.
right, right. So, what did that work for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, awesome. So,
Yeah.
well, hell yeah, that's cool. No problem, right? Whatever. So,
Yeah.
no shade. If that was helping you just kinda get a different framing or a different perspective, if, you weren't, like, abusing it or you weren't addicted to it or anything like that, sounds like, but you were just looking for an edge and a way to reframe and get a different perspective, yeah, no, right on, I get that, man. So, I would admittedly, I have a couple glasses of prosecco most days in the evening to unwind and just relax and spend some time with the wife. So, like, I get it. And when you're kind of constantly like in grind mode, it's hard to pull back and zoom out. So I try to go ride my bike. So I implemented this thing I do every day during the week now is I have it on my calendar for 15 minutes every day. I meditate. So, that's been working great for me. I've been doing that for a couple weeks now, and, if I'm having, anxiety about anything, anything's triggering going on in my life, and that is the so I have these other tools that I use as well, but that is one thing that I do that really helps, like, zap any anxiety monsters that are spinning around.
And when you meditate, do you not like to think about anything? Is it like just clear, how do I get all the folders out of my brain? Or is it looking at one thing very deeply? Like, how do you approach meditation?
I just focus on my breath. I count, and I focus on my breath, and I don't so I used to meditate a lot long time ago. Like I read some really interesting books. Like one book I read that was great was called Getting in the Gap by the late great Wayne Dyer. So this is I digress here for a second, but I remember there's this great quote in the book. He just said that it's the silence between the notes that makes the music. And like I never forget that. It's a really great quote. But I remember when I first started meditating, like the mind just wanders, right?
Mhm.
It's just constantly wandering, wandering, wandering. And then for me, and I think a lot of people have heard this before, the tendency is to like beat yourself up about it, get frustrated about it. Well, no, like that's the antithesis of what you need to do. What you just need to do is be like, okay, I see that, whatever. And I'm going to go back to focusing on my breath and counting my breath. This is just how I do it. There's different ways to do it. So that's what I do. And, in 15 minutes, I get to like this, light meditative state where everything is like super relaxed, almost like I'm in a light sleep if it's going well. Um, and then when I come out of that, I just have like these little mantras that I like to repeat, and I just try to reinforce my subconsciousness. And I'm really trying to create these new neural pathways in my brain, man, to replace some of these older ones that just don't serve me well anymore.
That's a great description. Yeah, I'm very much in the same light of yeah, that the reinforcement and then being able to follow that up with those affirmations that allow you to stay on that path of what you're trying to create.
Yeah. And so I've also been using, I talk about this, I talk about this sometimes on the show because I don't know if you listened to the first episode with Grant Waynes from Una.
I've not.
Yeah, you should check that out, man. But Una has this mental health AI support platform, and they actually donated like $60,000 worth of licenses to my work. So we make them available for founders. It's $200 if you want to go to the App Store and use it, but we get them to founders for free. And I use it every day. It's my mental health companion, and it just really does a great job with helping me reframe my thinking. All these like CBT, and DBT exercises and skills it has me doing, and I'm just getting to the point now where I can observe my thinking, my thoughts, and I'm like, oh wow, I had no idea that I was always talking so negatively to myself and about these things. And so it's been great, man. And it's also, we're talking about these negative tracks in our brains, and it's just amazing how even when this is not the way you should be thinking, it's just these things, feelings and anxiety come up because that's just the way your brain has been operating.
Yeah.
You gotta undo it. It takes patience and time and being kind to yourself in the process.
Yeah, you talk about like doing something repeatedly and not even realizing it. I have this talk with my son all the time, and our main line with together where we say every night is like, "You can do it, you can do it, you can do it." Because I kept picking up on him, trying to learn like a slap shot. He's 3 years old, and
Yeah.
he gets mad after the seventh one. He just says, "I can't do it. I can't." You
Oh
repeat
God.
throughout the day,
Oh God.
days add up. You start thinking that you can't
Oh,
do
100%.
so, like, you have to fight those feelings with action and repeated action. Uh,
100%. Good on you for changing that conversation in his head. Because if you start thinking you can't do a thing, like, you're right. You think you
yeah,
can.
and there's the talent and the passion's there, and that's all great, but it can easily be killed by something toxic and negative.
100%.
Ex
100%. 100%. Okay, cool, man. So I have another question for you here. You sold Songlink to Linktree and thought the exit would be the moment that your problems disappeared. You thought Burnout had an antidote called liquidity. What actually happened on the other side of that wire transfer?
um, well, I think this is the thing is, like, as a founder, you at least for me, I say this from my perspective, you put all this work, you move across the country, you put all this investment, you work overnight all into this thing, um, and this thing is like, I have all these customers, and I'm thinking like how I think I was thinking beforehand. You put all of this, weight into this moment where the big exit, like, "Oh, maybe I'm having personal problems, blah, blah, blah." Well, it'll get solved with the exit. Like, it'll get solved with the exit, and you start to
Yeah.
build up this bucket full of stuff that you said it would be solved by the exit. the exit happens, nothing is like it's quiet. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to worry about school loans and some things that you thought was financial, but what I realized was like, um, what do I do now? What am I gonna do tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? Like, I was doing, 10 to 20 calls a day with different artists from all around the world and helping them build their business. They were all small business owners. I was helping them find a way to win, and, like, I love that. And so I lost my identity because I had my identity
Mm,
so tied up and wrapped up into who I thought what I was doing. But then having a dream of selling something, that doesn't mean those worlds are just, like, solved and that's, chapter over, onto the next thing. So, yeah, that's where a lot of the problems came for me. It felt like it was very eye-opening. Um, and look, I'm a frugal, humble dude from Pittsburgh.
mhm,
I'm not flashy. I'm not, so it doesn't solve a lot of problems in my life. Like, it doesn't give you deep relationships and a better
mhm,
connection to your son. Like, it doesn't give you these things
mhm,
that truly matter, or at least matter for me. Um, and so mentally, I think I had a lot of things wrapped up into like, it'll get solved with the exit. Like,
mhm.
I'll figure it out then. And so kind of life's hit when that transfer happened, to be honest.
So, so you said your identity was wrapped up in that. Did you feel like the work that you were doing was part of your purpose, and then when that work went away, you had no purpose, or was it something else?
Y- Yes. I mean, that's also a difficult question too. When you talk about purpose, that's a big word in terms of how
Mhm,
do I think of myself? Am I following the path?
mhm.
Is this what I've meant to do? Is this like,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, yeah, I think my purpose is making people see something within themselves that allow them to be successful. I think like I can tap into that. And I think that's a gift from God that I feel very much
Mm,
connected to. Yeah, I think it's tough to talk about purpose because I think that can change. I think passion has an
mhm,
impact on a lot of things. I think when you see success in something,
mhm,
feel really connected to it. When I see 22 million people are building their business with technology that me and a buddy made in an apartment,
mhm.
and believed in for years and seeing that grow,
Yeah,
you can feel deeply connected and passionate about it, but is that my purpose as a human?
yeah.
No.
Right, so, as I'm listening to you talk, you know, my wife actually helped me recently realize that, my purpose is to build capacity in people. That's similar to what you just said, what you I don't think you said that was your purpose, but it's something that you feel like to do, or are you saying that that's your purpose?
I'm coming to, and I say this in like a confused kind of way because I have been asking this question for a long time. I think my purpose connected to people and allowing them to see something bigger within themselves that they don't see. Um, so I think my passion is being able to tap into things, experiences, companies, software, just a railway for them to tap into that.
Yeah. So
Um,
when you sold Songlink, I'm sorry, that didn't the opportunity to do that did not go away, but at the time, I guess you felt like it had moved on or no?
no, um, it didn't. Like it closed the books on that in a way because you didn't have something to deliver and give to those people. And there,
You
I
you
have.
just need to f
I didn't
I'm
think
sorry.
term again. I didn't think like
Right, right, right.
the
This
next
vehicle, tactically, this was removed, so now
yeah,
you gotta go find some other way to execute on your purpose.
you got to go build another vehicle. You got to find a vehicle to buy. You have to, like you have to figure out
Yeah,
what's my next way of transportation of being a vessel
yeah,
for this thing and
yeah.
self belief and overcoming.
Yeah. So the one thing about your chapter that really stopped me in my tracks, and I sound like an AI post might say that, "Stop me in my tracks," these stupid posts on LinkedIn, you
M
know?
dash. Yeah.
Huh?
So stop me in my tracks. M dash. Yeah.
Yeah, M dash, right. But it wasn't that, it was the this. Um, but no, honestly, it did, like, I, like, pushed back. I was like, "Whoa," like, it was so counterintuitive to me, which is why I was so glad to finally meet you and talk to you after the fact. Is nobody's thinking that you're burning out after you had to exit. People are thinking that you're burning out trying to get to the exit because you're doing too much. But you burned out after the fact because you did not know. It was like all the air was sucked out of all the things for you, right?
No, it was like I took a jump off a cliff, you
Oh,
know?
well, please, tell me more about that. What does that mean?
Yeah. So I mean, like it was like I was running and then I hit a jump and then like there was no bottom. I didn't know I didn't know where I was going. I wasn't burnt out based on the work I was doing. Usually when I feel
Right.
burnt out, it's because I don't have connection to the work I'm doing. It's like that
Mm,
it comes from like getting anxiety. It's usually from not being productive, feeling like, what can I do next? What can I help you? Those feelings are usually tied to, well, I'm not connected to what I'm doing every day. I don't believe 100% in the value that it provides and the impact that it provides. So that's why I'm having those feelings. But I wasn't feeling that.
interesting.
I just had I had conviction about what we built. And then I understood the market and the opportunity and Linktree of a power player owning that space and us being the one music platform that they wanted to acquire for that. I understood the moment. I just didn't know what came after the feeling
Right.
of that moment, right?
Got it.
That's where it feels like you're running and you feel like you're now going fast down a hill, but you hit a jump and you don't know where the landing goes. You
Oh,
don't
wow. Oh
you
my
don't
God.
you don't feel the bike land like it in a way it still feels like you're going
So you
because
felt like you were in free fall? Is what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah, because you wake up,
Wow.
it's like, what is time? What is space? Like you
And that
talk
felt like and that was burnout for you.
yeah, because you're fried at that moment. You feel fried
Wow.
because you don't feel
Wow, that's so fascinating to me, man. That's very
it's a different
fascinating.
perspective on burnt. Like burnt is not to me 100 hours, 3 jobs, barely making it. That's not burnout.
Mm,
That's energy, that's fuel, that's we can overcome.
mm,
We can find a way, we can win.
mm.
Burnout is like you're not in the game. You're watching from the sideline. You're up in the press box. You don't feel connected to the fans, the people, the team, anything.
Wow.
I think who's the guy? I think from Loom, the founder. He talked about this selling his company. This is totally we're not in the same space by any means. He sold it for like over $800 million, and he sat on his couch the next day and was like, "I don't know what to do."
I should reach out to him, give him a come on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, that feeling, it's frightening, but,
Yeah.
it's the scariest thing I heard when I read that article, but I was very much like, yeah, that gives me goosebumps because it's the same feeling of like
Wow. Wow. Okay, well, thanks for clarifying that, man. I think that this part of the conversation is gonna resonate, or land very interestingly with people listening to this episode. But let's take a quick break, and I'm gonna come right back with more questions on the other side, okay? When my first startup failed, my mental health also failed. That experience is why I created the Kabila Founder Mental Health Fund, which pays for therapy and connects founders to wellness resources. Because building a startup shouldn't cost you your well being. Founders are silently struggling every day, and you can change that. Donations keep the fund running and the grants flowing. You can also support the mission by getting the book, Burn Bright, Not Out. 90% of the proceeds go right back to the fund. To be a donor or get the book, visit thefounderexhale.com/founder mental health. Be well, y'all. All right, and we are back. We're back. We're back. We're back. I'm hanging out with my dude, Nick Merich, exit founder, great dad, remarkable human, just an all around good guy. So a couple more questions for you here, Nick. And before we get to my favorite part of the show, to dad jokes, You got to bring it when you do the dad joke. Just saying. So you said that your wife saw the truth long before you could say it out loud. Like, what did she see that you couldn't?
Oh, well, I would say my wife and I understand each other on a very deep level, meaning that we're very hard-nosed, hard-headed individuals. We know what we want. We know what we want to go after. We know in our brain of how we're going to get there. And it's not our jobs as partners to get in the way. It's for us to reflect and help each other learn from those moments. And I think she could see that, like, hey, you're working till 2 a.m. and you're waking up at 7. And like, you've been doing this for years. Like, you're going to burn yourself out in a way of not wanting to do this thing. I know how much passion you get and where it goes, and you see the wins, and all this stuff's adding up, and you're bootstrapped, and you're saying no to investors, and you believe in this thing. And like, she could just see the writing, shape on the
Mhm.
wall. Um,
Mhm.
but she's also an athlete too, so she knows the importance of recovery and refueling yourself to allow yourself to have that fuel again and that strength and being able to hit those high moments. So in a way, like, she's been in my life for the last 15 years. She she knew exactly who I was, and in a way, they're a board of director very much your partner or your
Mhm.
spouse, because they're with you every day.
Yeah.
They see you, they see how you interact with them.
So I
Um,
heard you say that she knew that you needed to rest and recover, and you didn't see that. Is that what she was
yeah,
saying that you couldn't?
yeah. I was running 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, that's great, man, that you have somebody in your corner like that that can help you with that. Okay. So next question is Saturday pickup basketball with your dad, your cousins, and your friends is what you credit with grounding you, not therapy or some kind of productivity system. Just sweaty, chaotic, joy-filled mornings. What does that tell founders about what recovery actually can look like?
Yeah, so I think doing things that you have 0 connection to the return, or, let's say it's not money, it's not transactional, but you're doing things throughout the week that bring you joy. And for me, that's being around people doing hard things is like what I like to call it. Now it's turned into a run club that I do with parents on Saturday mornings,
Oh, what's that called?
Gryt Run Club. You
Okay,
can go.
is that just in Pittsburgh or some other places?
It's in Pittsburgh. We're hosting our first 5K in Washington, DC next weekend.
Oh,
Um,
no. Yeah, I will. Just let me know what the link to that is, and I'll add it to the show notes. What's the link for that?
Grytrun.com.
Grit
Gryt.com or run.com.
grytrun.com. I'll add that to the show notes.
Great.
Uh, that's outstanding. Um, okay. Was there anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, yeah, doing hard things. I really enjoy, that transfer from going from basketball to running. Uh, but these things of like, I played in a basketball league with my dad. He was in a league for over 30 years. Going to that, being a part of that on Saturday mornings, seeing that community. Those people have known each other for 40 years, but they don't even know their first name. It's like,
Mm.
"Hey, red shirt, come here." Like, uh, it's that's really, community to me. So that's what I was trying to sum up with that.
So good, man. All right, cool, man. So what would you say to a founder who successfully exited their startup and is now dealing with burnout, or who hasn't exited their startup and is dealing with burnout?
I think it's really important to actually go see a therapist. Go to your doctor. Get yourself, if you're taking medications, or just evaluate everything internally. Go talk to somebody, talk about what's happening externally, and try and look at yourself from 10,000 feet. Give yourself an audit, and then come up with ways to improve over the next 30 days. Um, I think it's like, understand where you are, start small. Like, that's something where I try to trigger myself. I find myself lost or confused
Mhm.
or kind of just like out of connection or touch towards a certain goal or thing. It's okay, audit. Now let's start small. What can I do over the next 5 days? What can I do one thing today to help
Yeah.
to the thing over 30 days? And then look at it after those 30 and make a 60-day plan and like
Mhm.
one step at a time. I think it's
So that
very
reminds me of the old expression, how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Like one bite at a time, right?
yeah. Yeah, that would be a little tough. But yes, it's
But
tough.
yeah, if you have a big task, you can't focus on the size of
Oh,
the task ahead of you. You just got to do one thing at a
yeah.
time.
And knowing yourself, like being extremely honest, what are the best times that you work throughout the day? Like time block something an hour dedicated to that thing that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny because I think everybody knows what to do. They just don't want to do it. Like there's something in their brain that holds them back from doing it.
I don't know that everybody knows what to do. I mean, look, you're an extremely self-aware person. That's not normal, bro. That's not everybody's not that way.
Yeah. Well,
It's not.
maybe I don't understand that. I don't understand the importance of self-awareness and understanding maybe a gift that I have that I think might be easy to others.
Just becomes naturally for you. So I see. But yeah, no, that's a gift that you have, and that's a blessing. And not everybody has that. And if you're going to take the time to improve yourself and work on yourself and go to therapy and do all the things, like I think one of the benefits of going to therapy is you become more self-aware. Like you know when you're feeling a certain way, what's causing it, what to do about it. These levels of self-awareness help you, move to these places and these problems and these spaces in your life. That's just my 2 cents about that. But yeah, you're blessed, man.
Took
Everybody's
me
not that
35
way.
years to do that though, by the way. It
How
took me
many?
35 years to go see somebody and ask for help.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
people might feel I'm too old they're too old to go.
No, no.
It's never too late to open up that chapter and look at
100%,
perspective.
100%. All right, man. Well, thanks for that, Nick. So I'm gonna move to my favorite part of the show. You like that?
I do. I feel like I'm in a baseball game. Yeah.
That's right. It's the dad joke, baby. So, you should know, Nick, that, we judge these jokes here, and, when I say we, I mean me. So you'll either get a rim shot or a sad trombone.
What if the joke means something to us in a good way and it's not necessarily on paper the greatest dad joke?
Eh, it doesn't need to be that great. So I'll just tell you, like, my kids listen to my podcast, and my kids love dad jokes, and they're super harsh on the dad jokes. I'm way more lenient than they are. Like, I've given a couple of rim shots for the last couple episodes, and my daughter was like, "No, that was terrible." So, here's your time to shine, man. Let's hear it. What's the dad joke?
Well, this one's dedicated to my father who, would always call me in college, and I felt like the most stressful times of my life and knew what to say and when to say it so I could laugh and not think so deeply about things. And he
Yeah.
would just say, "Is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it." Um, I would be like, "Yes, well, you better go catch it." And he would just say that to me all the time. I bring that one with me everywhere. I used to even be a catcher in baseball, and I used to go out to the mound and to help pitchers get out of their head. I would say the same thing: "Is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it." And it would just make them laugh a little bit, bring some levity to their day, and allow them to kind of get out of the mental rut that they were spinning in. So he'll do that to me all the time. I think it's a terrible joke, obviously, but
Listen, I just that joke, um, I don't know, man. I didn't even I didn't I oh, man.
hey,
Mm.
bring it to the kids. All right, I'll
Yeah,
allow you they have to say.
bro, if I'm channeling my kids, it's gonna be a all day. I'm so sorry, man.
You're good. You're good.
I'm so sorry. My daughter was on me last time, bro. I got one. You wanna hear one? I can tell you one. You wanna hear one?
Do it. Do it.
So, if April showers bring May flowers, what do Mayflowers bring?
What?
Pilgrims.
I'm not a funny joke guy. So I'm
You
like,
don't like that one?
no, I don't like it.
Oh, damn. All right. Fine. Whatever, man.
Have like a post section of like your kids like giving a review or something like a post to it.
All right, man. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Hey, Nick, I appreciate you for coming on. But hey, before I do that, I gotta clap you out, man. Thanks for coming to the show, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much. What's the best way for people to connect with you? I'll add it in the show notes, LinkedIn or some other way.
Yeah, LinkedIn DM. It could be Instagram, just Nick Merich, one word.
Okay.
Or shoot me an email, merichnick@gmail.com.
All right, perfect. So I'll be sure to add that to the stuff, and I'm gonna roll this outro music here. Thank you so much for visiting with us, Nick. Appreciate you. And you're listening out there. We know you like the show because you're still listening. So please subscribe, follow, and rate it. Please visit thefounderexhale.com. Let me know what you thought about the show. I'll leave it in a voicemail or via the contact form. And please make a donation to support the work we're doing with the Kabila Founder Mental Health Fund to pay for mental therapy for founders by visiting KabilaMentalHealth.com. Link to learn more and donate will be in the show notes. We appreciate you. See you next time. Be well, y'all.